WhiskyJason here, Whisky Live Dublin 2020, together with
Paul from Black's Brewery and Distillery down in Kinsale, Cork, Ireland.
Yay, very, very good. Now tell me, what is your role there at Black?
So I work as brand ambassador for Black's on the spirit side of things, and also take care of some sales and marketing. So
you're the right guy to be talking to here, I guess.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Very brief history of Black's. You were beer, you were craft, and now you're doing whiskey. How did that happen?
Absolutely. So the company started back in 2013, founded by Sam and Maudlin Black. Essentially, Maud gave Sam a home brewing kit for Valentine's Day one year. Sam was originally an engineer before that, so I suppose this is kind of what got him into the craft beer, and his love for it grew. He started producing a bit of beer that went into local pubs around the place, and he knew that whiskey was kind of always on the horizon for Black's. In 2015, we expanded and built a distillery, and gin was actually the first spirit that we started producing. Soon after that, we made the first ever Irish rum in 2018.
True,
so
that's right, yes.
we have 2 rums now on the market.
I think at least one bottle of that made it to Germany.
I think it might have. There might be a couple more out there as well. But the spiced rum was the first, and golden rum followed soon after. And that golden rum was actually finished in single malt Irish whiskey barrels. So that was kind of a milestone for Irish rum and also for Irish whiskey to make it into a rum cask. And then in 2020, we expanded and we got our pot stills in. They travelled all the way over from Italy, from Frilly, and we began distilling on site in Kinsale. So since then, it's been pretty busy, and the site that we had, obviously from when we started in 2013, it was jam-packed with beer, spirits, everything happening. And we've now moved. So we have a new site, a new brewery and distillery that's being built. Still in Kinsale, we've just moved to kind of a larger location, and we'll have a visitor centre now. So it's really exciting, and we'd love to take you through some of the products that we have today here. So what we have here are a couple of bottles from our Pieces of 8 cask series, which is a series that really kind of
very good for the Chinese market with 8, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lucky number, absolutely. So a lot of the Pieces of 8 cask series, this kind of showcases what happens when you bring brewery and distillery together. So these are whiskies that have been finished in casks of our very own beers that we brew in Blacks. So what Jason has here in his hand is some of you might be familiar with our Black IPA, which is kind of one of our flagship IPAs, kind of a hybrid between an IPA and a stout. So we finished this 8-year-old single malt in those casks for roughly 9 months, and it's beautiful. You get lots of citrus notes coming through on it. It's a 43% ABV whiskey, really delicate, very smooth, and
a little bit of grapefruit as well.
You're getting creaminess, some cacao from the kind of the Black IPA itself has characteristics of like a little bit of coffee and chocolate coming through, so you really get that on the whiskey also.
Now, what's going on with our nice one? It's a bird, right?
It is a bird, yeah, exactly. So it's a crow. Down in Kinsale, where the brewery was, you're going to see like lots of crows around the place. It's kind of the flagship bird that you could say Kinsale has around. You'll see lots of them. But the crows are black. The company is owned by Sam Black. That's his name, and his wife's name is Maudlin Crowley. There you can see the bird is kind of the emblem that you'll see on a lot of on all of the Black's bottles. And this one here that you have is actually another release in the Pieces of 8 cask series, finished in maple syrup casks. So the first ever Irish whiskey to go through maple syrup barrels. They were sourced over in Vermont in the USA. We brought them in. There was a little bit of it was kind of maple bourbon down in the bottom of the barrel when we got it, about a litre or 2. You could have poured it over the pancakes. It was amazing.
I was talking on Monday with John Teeling about some of the interesting experiments, and he particularly mentioned maple syrup barrels, and he thought that was fabulous. So
yeah, absolutely. It's something completely new to Irish whiskey. You can actually see on it that it's categorized as a spirit drink, but it was Irish whiskey that went through it, basically because the last thing to go through the barrel was a food product rather than
A spirit.
Spirit, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So with the laws in Irish whiskey, you kind of categorize it as spirit drink, but it was a single cask release. So we don't mind putting it out there, letting people taste the weird and wonderful things that Irish whiskey has to offer.
Interesting. In Germany, it's still considered a whiskey. Just finished in a maple syrup barrel. But because of the food process, part of that,
Exactly.
Oh wow! Ireland is so unique. Let's say that word with their laws and regulations, especially with labeling now. All right, very good. One more.
One more. The last one we have here is a another part in the Pieces of 8 cask series. This is finished in our World's End Imperial Stout, which is a chocolate and vanilla Imperial Stout.
Okay.
Usually,
now, are these available only in Ireland, or where do I get these?
Some of these bottles did make it over to our partners in Germany, so a couple of them might have got a couple of bottles, but because they were single cask releases, there's probably 300 to 350 bottles of each, so a lot of them would have gone to the local market, but you never know. You can see a couple pop up on auction now and again.
I will. All right.
And we'll have to give you a taste. Would you like some?
Could you go to the standard product as well? Let's talk about distribution and then we can taste, all right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't have a glass with me, but maybe we can work around that problem.
I'm sure we can sort something in a minute. So this is Black Ops, which is one of our core range products for the last couple of years. Quite unique. You can see the color in it is extremely kind of dark. This comes from, it's an extra deep charged bourbon cask that it went through. So you're getting lots of, your caramels, vanillas, your typical flavors that you'll get from bourbon. Lots of kind of prunes and dark kind of dark stone fruit notes coming through on this whiskey also. It's a 43% non-chill filtered. And we try to offer something out there in the category that, offers something a little bit different in blends. A lot of the blends that you see will just go through bourbon, but the Black Ops is really offering something amazing and unique to whiskey drinkers out there.
Very good. Distribution.
Where can
your whiskeys at the moment?
Yeah, so
in the world.
in the world, country-wise.
Yes, go for countries.
Yeah, so our whiskies are available in Germany, the UK. We have some going over to the Netherlands at the moment also. Product going to Italy, France, out as far as UAE, India, Australia. You can get our whiskey also, and hopefully we're entering the USA later this year also.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's like 50 new countries sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more like 23 to 28 new countries, but it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, different laws, different. Yeah, you have to treat everyone as a different country, exactly. But amazing opportunity out there, and we're really looking forward to kind of drawing in the craft beer drinker in America in to show them some of the weird and wonderful whiskies that we have to offer, because as Ireland's first co-located brewery and distillery, there's really no one else that has access to their very own beer barrels to try these things. The trend has been set in the market, which is great, but a lot of distilleries are sourcing from other breweries around the country. We're not afraid to try new things, which is really exciting for us. So,
And when will your own spirit be ready? Will you actually do a 3-year-old release, or are you going to wait 4 or 5? What are the plans? I know Sam decides, maybe his wife decides, I don't know.
Yeah, these are the questions we get a lot. There's no plan at the moment to release anything after 3 years. We think we'll probably hold for 5 to 6 minimum before we put our product out onto the market. At the moment, when we started distilling in 2020, we had 2 copper pot stills, so production was small. We filled about 600 casks in the first year.
Which is not bad.
No, but if you think about it, 3 years from now, we're not going to be looking to release that liquid. We're going to be looking to hold on to a lot of it. And as we get our 3rd whiskey still in and production ups,
will there be triple distilled in the future?
There will be 3 stills going in. So you might be aware we've expanded down to the new brewery and distillery site. So once we get down there, there'll be much more room.
And what will the capacity be in the future now?
It's hard to say at the moment. At the moment, we're operating 5 days a week. We'll probably up it to 7, and we might do double shifts. So once we get down and do some number crunching, we'll have a bit more information on that.
Very good.
Things are exciting, and
yes, they are.
Whisky Live this is pretty much the first sneak peek in Ireland of our new bottles. So we're moving over.
Show us the new bottles, please, very briefly, if at all possible.
Absolutely.
I like.
Yeah. So This is a little sneak peek. This is our, so there'll be 3 new whiskies coming out as part of the core range of blacks. You can see it's a new embossed bottle with our blacks at the back.
Ooh, nice.
And these are really tying in, you know, the kind of the beer side of the business into the whiskey and going for something a little bit more modern on the market than what you see out there at the moment.
Can you show the other bottle as well?
Yeah,
because that reminds me of something else.
So yeah, this is the Citrus Galaxy Single Malt IPA, and this is our Maple Mayhem. Finished a blended whiskey finished in maple syrup casks also. What did it remind you of?
New Riff.
Oh yes, yeah. They've kind of gone for something similar in the US.
There, with the black at the top and then at the bottom transparent, which is very nice. I love the bottles, by the way. Excellent.
Thank you.
I love the design and so on. So no supply chain problems there. You ordered enough and have enough on stock.
Yeah, we have enough. They'll probably be released mid-July.
Okay.
So
as soon as you create your own mold, which I assume. You order a certain amount.
Exactly. No, we have a constant flow of bottles on the way. Supply chain has been an issue in the last year or so, but yeah, we've tried to keep on top of it to make sure we don't run into any issues.
Very good.
But yeah, we're excited to show the new bottles to people, give people a little sample of the liquid that's to come, and yeah, it's an exciting time for us here at Flax.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for this nice little
thanks very much,
view
Jason.
of what's going on here at Blacks.
Sure.
Exciting times in Ireland, definitely.
Yeah, thanks very much.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Cheers.